Welcome to episode 5 of ShootNLoot and Outriders podcast. I am your host, Outrider Kev, and to my physical front is my co-host, Rob the Man.
Hi.
If this is your first time, welcome as we delve deep into the news and everything that's ravaging planet Enox. You can find us here on youtube.com and follow us on our various social media channels, but we will talk about that later. Let's dig into the latest news. Where we left off last time, the Outrider developers had mentioned that we're going to go ahead and start doing the restoration process for Group A, B, and C of the players who had lost their gear. We have two new pieces of developments of things that have happened, patch notes, and also things of people getting their gear back, some people not getting their gear, and some people getting too much gear. Let's go ahead and dive into some of the patch notes. This particular set of patch notes is from April 30th. Here we're going to go ahead and quote on the Reddit subthread, of the Outriders channel. Here we go. While there were some major fixes that we're sure will be appreciated by players, this patch includes the fixes and resolutions for many smaller and minor bugs that were reported or discovered during the demo and launch period of Outriders, but were unable to be amalgamate, right? into the hot fixes we worked on during the same period. Here are some of the highlights about the patch demos for April 30th. It fixed a number of crashes throughout the game, which is obviously always great.
Yeah, that's good.
Fixed a number of issues, bugs, and crashes associated with multiplayer. So, we'll talk about it later, but how have you felt, lately, these last sessions that we've been playing these last 2 weeks?
The game's running smoothly. Like, the way it runs is smooth. But the issues... There are issues.
Yeah,
but we'll get to those.
But not as much as there used to be.
Absolutely not.
Right.
As far as the issues that were earlier, it seems like these were issues that arose from fixing the issues that we had before.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
They also resolved an issue that could cause players to get stuck on the sign-in screen. Lots of resolutions for gear, mod, skill, quest, level, and lighting bugs. Meaning, things that weren't lit well on the characters themselves. They rebalanced. AI snipers now give players more time to dodge their shots. Thank fucking God. Seriously, those snipers were really something.
You really had to listen because you could hear it build up. And then they would shoot.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm glad they gave us more time because sometimes it felt like you're just dodging the entire time, dodging 2 or 3 shots until you're out of their line of sight.
Yeah, if there's 3 sniper rifles on the field and you don't have any cover right away, they're going to fuck you up.
Right, exactly. Yeah. They rebalanced and everything, reduced the amount of knockback from creatures in the Stargrave expedition. I'm not sure which is the Stargrave. I don't think we've reached that expedition yet.
Okay.
Because I don't know if you noticed, there's some expeditions that are closer to the left of the map, and then the ones that are closer to the right, closer to the eye of the storm, you have to pay you have to pay drop pod resources to access those.
The little gold ones, right?
Exactly. Now there is a greater delay between spawns and a reduced number of offending creatures. Fixed a bug where a skill damage improvement mod on gear with a higher level than the player would actually reduce the damage when used at a lower world tiers. Fixed a bug that was causing a number of mods to not properly trigger their on-shot on critical shot effects if said shot was a kill shot. Fixed a bug that caused the trickster's hunt the prey skill to not teleport but still go into cooldown. That sucks. Where you would use your hunt the prey and it would go into cooldown but you didn't use it. It didn't activate.
That happened to me all the time.
Dang. For PC specifically, fixed an issue whereby old crash dumps were not being properly cleared from the player's system. These are the 300 megabyte files that were previously left behind. Another PC update added support for rebinding the function keys, delete and page down, insert home, page jump, print screen, scroll lock, caps locks, and other keys. Again, it just lets you modify your keyboard however you want for the buttons that you want to press. And for the PC, the available FOV for configuration has been increased from 90 to 130. So if you have a wider monitor, you can see a wider space on the field. You can increase the field of view. Okay. And that's pretty much all the patch notes that we have for April 30th. Again, if you want to read the full patch notes, this is just some of the, the shortened versions of things that they had updated for April 30th. You can read the rest of them on either their Twitter or you can go to the Outriders subreddit as well. All of that was listed there. What do you think of these changes, Rob?
I wish I knew more about the PC stuff, man. I'm rereading it over and over to try to get a better handle over it. But
Well, I think one that we're having memory issues. The other one is that you couldn't bind certain keys. Binding was when you change a key like the WSAD, any key on the keyboard, you want to rebind it and use for whatever like skill or ability or thing you can do in the game.
Like you're reassigning it.
Exactly, you're reassigning it's like it's reassigning the controls. Where if you want the extra A button to be swapped, you can do that on the Xbox controller.
Cool.
Same thing on the keyboard. Some people play in certain ways where they want certain keys to be these certain functions.
Okay.
And then the FOV is when, when you increase the field of view, so you'll see the whole wide screen of the character,
like a wide panoramic
or
shot.
you can shorten it so that way it's more focused on your character.
Right. And can you do that in the Xbox version of the game? Can you like zoom out a little bit and not be so close to your guy?
You know what? I'm not sure because I know in Borderlands you can. I haven't really checked it on Outriders out. We'll have to double check that after this, but I don't think you can because otherwise I would have increased it all the way.
The right, typically it's a stick click, pressing down either one of the analog sticks, and I think the right is melee and the left is what is the left?
There's nothing on the left.
No. The left.
Sprint?
No, the left. Whether you're shooting from your right shoulder or left shoulder.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it changes your
shooting pattern.
Yeah,
like if you're shooting left-handed or right-handed.
Yeah.
Which helps depending if you're on the corner.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, or up against a wall.
But yeah, we've had those patches, and ever since that patch, there have been some additional bugs. Rob, why don't you take it away for the May 5th updates that we've been having?
Okay, so we got character and inventory restorations for Group A characters is now underway. Group A characters are those characters who encountered a wipe and are no longer able to log in at this point in time. Encounter a couldn't connect to server error. We got that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Please check your affected characters throughout the day, also making sure to log out and in again if you are in the game at the time. If your character has not yet been restored, please be patient a little while longer, as it may take a little time for the process to propagate across all affected characters.
Which is a good thing that they finally are addressing Group A. Group A is the ones that couldn't play the game because they had lost everything.
I didn't realize I was missing gear. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it must have happened in one of the sessions, and I was just not paying attention. And I hadn't played. I had got rid of all my inventory that I wasn't using. I had my stuff in my cache. And I knew what was in my cache. It was just a couple gold pieces of gold gear. Mm-hmm. I logged on the other day, and I had a gold gun, a machine gun that I had gotten rid of a couple of. I had two of them, and I remember getting rid of one. I didn't remember getting rid of the second one.
Right.
But it was gone.
It was gone. Yeah.
So I figured maybe I got rid of it and I didn't remember, or it was part of the gear dump. But when I got it back, it was at level 42 and it was fully restored. But I only got that one gun back. I also got my revolver back. Mm-hmm. Remember the revolver that I had?
Right.
And I thought I kept it. I thought I put it in my cache. And then I went and I logged on, and that revolver was back. Same exact mod, same everything, but it was all 42'd.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I'm cool with that.
It's been, for the most part, I'm glad people are able to play the game, especially the people who had gotten to a high level and then lost all their gear, because there was no way you could play the game unless you had to start a completely new character. So they got their gear. They're able to play it now, but it seems like everyone has gotten affected differently by the item restoration. Some people, like, I didn't lose any gear, at least not that I thought of. Like, you know that fire gun that I have, the molten lava one? I got 3 copies of those. I never deleted that one.
Wow.
But they gave me 3 max 42 copies of it.
Hey, man.
Hey, I'm not complaining.
Exactly.
I'm gonna keep it. But it just feels like
thank you.
It's a little janky, the restoration. It seems like they just give everyone a little bit of something. And some people didn't get anything back.
I'm assuming it's something along the lines of there being an error code.
Right.
And they're just connecting error codes to Xbox Live accounts or online accounts. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And they're just if your profile has that error code, they're going to look into it and they're going to give you the code, even if it didn't disappear, even if it's something else. Because I don't remember getting rid of those codes.
Right. Because all of this is on the server end. I mean, there's no real save file on the Xbox, PlayStation, or PC. Everything's server end, so it's on their side where they're able to see all that.
Yeah, they're able to see like if something jacks up on your system, right?
Right, exactly.
When you're connected to their server. Okay, as a reminder, here it is what you can expect to happen. Group A restoration. All items, regardless of rarity, that were equipped at the time of your inventory wipe will be restored. All legendary items that were in your inventory For non-legendary items, 20 previously acquired items that were in your inventory with first prioritization based on rarity, descending from epic rarity. And second prioritization based on date acquired.
So you'll get like 20 epics or 20 blues, depending on what you had at the time.
That's great. All fully completed accolades will be restored to you. Will be restored if you previously reached the final tier of said accolade. Interim tiers and progress toward any tier of an accolade cannot be recovered.
That kind of sucks that I didn't know people lost their accolade tiers. Wow. You had to unlock, all the vehicle customization, all the emotes. That kind of sucks. I wonder if they kept the unlocks.
That cannot be recovered.
I mean, yeah, I'm not really sure what they mean by that. I wonder if they mean like the new progress that they made. Or is it just restoring your previous progress?
This might...
You know what I'm saying? Like...
Yeah. Because it says progress toward a tier. So what that makes me believe is that there were people that were working towards a tier. Mm-hmm. They log off, they sign back on, and they're back at 0.
Right. But they gained the tiers that they had lost before. Right. I think that's what it means. Right?
I don't think you lose it. What I'm saying is I don't think that the tier is lost. Mm-hmm. I think it's the progress towards the tier.
Right, exactly.
That's getting lost. You know what I mean? So that goes back. So if you're on tier 14 and you're halfway through towards tier 15,
you're going to lose that little progress.
You're going to lose that half of a bar. And that did happen to me when we were around tier 12. But on the world tier, not the accolade tier.
Right.
Where it was like a good, the bar was maybe 2/5 of the way full. Mm-hmm. And I logged back on and it was gone.
Dang.
And I was back at 0. So I had to, go all the way back to the beginning of that tier. But I mean, right here it's talking about the accolade tier, so maybe it's not a one-to-one.
I didn't notice any issue, at least for the accolades for me. But it sounds like this affected Group A mostly.
Yeah, I didn't notice it on the accolades. I noticed it in the world tier progress. Mm-hmm. My world tier progress was all over the place, even if I wasn't dying or getting fucked up, or like I assume, when you die, it's like okay, you lose the progress you made, and a little bit you get penalized, right?
Right.
But there were times where it was going all the way back to 0, and I was like, no, I was fine. I was totally fine last time. I was halfway there. All right. So please keep in mind that we may not be able to restore every single lost item with 100% accuracy, but we are doing our best to make sure the most valuable items are accounted for. If your inventory is already full, restored items will be held server-side until there is space in your inventory and you have logged out and back in again.
Thank God.
Yeah, that's cool. Once we are happy with Group A restorations, we will trigger restorations for Group B. Group B players are those players who lost items but were able to continue playing. So that's probably where we're going to get all our shit.
Actually, that's what happened to us. There's a May 6 update that we're going to read after this.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, we did get... I think we're in Group B. I'm not sure. Again, I don't feel like it affected us that much, but we ended up getting some gear back at max level.
We did get like some server connectivity issues, but we didn't get complete gear wipes.
No, we didn't. At least not that I noticed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Please note that if you are not part of this Group A restoration, your non-affected characters may receive up to 20 legendary items that they previously sold back in their inventory. These items will be god-rolled. These items can be freely sold, scrapped, or used. So
that's what happened.
That's what's happening to us.
Yeah.
That's why we can't remember getting rid of them.
Yeah, because we probably sold them or dismantled them for the mods, and they just gave it back to us.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Right on.
I'll take it.
Cool, man. All right, finally, we would like... This is just like a weapons stimulus. Please play. Finally, we would like to thank you for your patience and support while we work hard to bring this restoration about. While it has taken longer than initially anticipated or planned, we never once wavered from our commitment to support those players who were affected. We will soon be turning our attention to the community appreciation packs that were previously announced.
Because they still have to give us a legendary titanium and a special emote, remember?
Yeah,
as a thank you for having to deal with all the launch issues.
Yeah, that was the appreciation pack that we had 2 episodes ago, I think.
Yeah.
It was 2 episodes ago that we covered that. Or 1. It was last episode.
Yeah.
It was episode 4. Go listen to that. YouTube. We are currently gathering info on the damage mitigation issue, and are furthermore continuing to investigate reported multiplayer connection issues. Can you elaborate on the damage mitigation issue?
Actually, we have a news story later on, so we're going to go ahead and elaborate at that point.
Okay,
I'm going to go ahead and take it out from here. So, the acknowledged Group A, that was the update on May 5th, and then on the next day, they did another update. So here's the May 6th, and this is the latest update that we have from the subreddit. Inventory restoration for Group B characters is now underway and will be completed over the next day or so. As a reminder, here's what you can expect to happen. Group B restoration. Up to 20 legendary items there were in your inventory. Please consider who will benefit from the restoration. Players in both Group B and C who lost a legendary item until April 2021. I guess that's just Polish way. I would have just said April 20th.
Yeah, that's how they say it.
But yeah, so if you
I think we're the only ones that do it that way. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I think most places around the world say the date, month, and year. And
Damn.
I think like us Americans...
We're such dicks.
Yeah, just, that or just ass backwards, man.
And then the Imperial system.
Yeah.
Group B are the characters that lost gear but were still playable. Players may have continued playing on these characters since the wipe. Group C are essentially all other players in the Outriders gaming population who did not encounter an inventory wipe. So again, Group B and C, they just got free legendaries. Yeah. And even, like you just mentioned, even the legendaries that maybe they had sold or deleted or dismantled, they ended up getting a version of that.
I ain't mad at that.
I'm not mad at that either. Important reminder, as we are unable to conclusively distinguish Group B from Group C players, both Group B and C will benefit from the restoration. Therefore, even if you do not encounter an inventory wipe, you may well receive up to 20 God rolled legendary items that you may have previously lost to a bug or sold to a vendor. Dismantled items will not be restored, as analytics are able to conclusively prove that they were not lost to the bug, which is not true because I never sold that molten gun or dismantled it. I kept it. It's the same gun. I've had it since it dropped.
Yeah, since it dropped.
And I got 3 copies of it.
Yeah.
And I never sold it, never dismantled it. I just kept it. And I used it throughout the entire game, and I got 3 copies. So again, whatever.
Hey man, people can fly.
I did dismantle it though, because the new version was better.
Yeah.
Sorry, I lost my place here. Okay.
I'm just happy to have my revolver back.
Right?
My cowboy gun. I think it was bad.
The above explains where the additional God rolled legendary items come from that you may find in your inventory following our restoration process today. These items can be freely sold, scrapped, or used. Again, so it sounds like I'm glad Group A is able to play the game again. They are able to go back, and keep leveling up those characters, and everyone seems to have gotten some legendaries out of it.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about that issue that has been plaguing the game and the community right now, which is the damage mitigation issue. I have an article here on Kotaku. Did you want to go ahead and...
Sure. Okay, so these are the damage mitigation issues. This is Kotaku's Eris Notice. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I think I may have.
Yeah, you got it.
Reports on Outriders' latest hurdle. To follow Outriders' post-launch journey is to watch an Olympic game of whack-a-mole. Developer People Can Fly will stamp out one issue only for another to pop right up. The latest, some players are apparently getting instantly killed by attacks that otherwise would not cause instantaneous death.
So they've been getting one-shotted.
I'm sorry, but that's fucking funny, man.
Right?
That's hilarious. Could you imagine, like, right now, putting myself in that position, being at this point of progress, fucking dialing in and working on your build, where, like, your build, like, preoccupies your mind. I'm in the shower thinking about my build, you know what I mean? And, like, I go and I see this, I'm like, man, that would, I haven't done it yet, and half the time I just blame myself. Like that meme I sent you. Maybe we'll throw it on the...
throw it on the...
Yeah.
I'm going to throw it on the screen right now.
Throw it on the screen.
If you're watching the podcast, here's the meme that we're talking about.
That was mine and Kevin's conversation last night. An extreme version of it. But yeah, that would really frustrate me. I'd probably fucking chuck the controller at the TV or something. Like that. It's almost it's like adding insult to injury.
Yeah, I mean, just like they mentioned in this article, like, hey, they fixed one thing and something else
whack-a-mole, man. Oof. Okay, an Olympic game of whack-a-mole is how they put it, which is, goddamn, that paints a picture. We are aware of the issue whereby damage mitigation isn't acting as expected for some players, resulting in those players dying very quickly, or in some cases instantly, when hit by an attack. People Can Fly wrote in a tweet. That was in quotes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Twitter user Outriders shared a video clip that illustrates just how immediate some of these deaths can be. Their character, a trickster rocking legendary equipment, takes on the Blood Merchant boss from the Paxian, I think that's Paxian?
Yeah, Paxian Homestead.
Paxian Homestead post-game expedition. And an Alpha Perforo,
Perforo.
I put the accent in the wrong place. I didn't know there was a period there. Outriders is at full health and sporting the Trickster's temporary shield, which should mitigate some damage. And yet, they go down in a single hit.
That's terrible.
Oh, man, I want to see... I want to...
We'll watch some of these videos.
Yeah, man. I just want to watch a montage, like a supercut of all these fucking fucked up situations. It is unclear how many players are affected, nor what the timeline is for a potential fix. They better make that priority, man.
Right.
That seems like a bigger issue than the gear. When reached for comment, Square Enix, Outriders publisher, did not provide specific figures or details about a time, but did point Kotaku towards two potential workarounds, plural. Affected players should try unequipping and re-equipping their armor. If that doesn't do the trick, they should take off all their armor, close the game completely, reload, and put their armor back on.
That's crazy that this happened after these patches to one, fix the game more. Obviously, we need patches to keep fixing the game.
Yeah.
There's a lot of issues, a lot of things that need to be ironed out. People got their items restored, and now there's this new thing that's plaguing the community, and no one knows who's at fault. Like, because just like that meme that we posted, like, are you playing badly? Is the damage not being mitigated? Are you taking too much damage?
Because I just assume that it's my fault because I hate myself. So I'm just like, I'm the problem.
Right. Because I've been racking my brain ever since the patches have been. Ever since the patch happened, it's just been going in and out. Where I'm like, I can't tell if I'm playing badly. Is it my build? Is it this patch?
Here's the thing that, like, our listeners, it's like, you gotta understand, Kevin does not lose his patience. Kev does not lose his patience. He's the most level-headed dude. He gets excited when he's talking about his stuff, but he does not lose his patience. I was playing with him last night. I've never heard him talk like that.
It was bad.
He sounded like he was about to go postal. So it's, I'm sorry for laughing at you. Misfortune.
No, but it was
that's
really
what it feels like.
And my poor friend Jesse, he's playing Apex with me and just talking to me in their team chat, and he just listened to me just vent, just hating life right now.
Yeah, when I signed on last night, it was like I felt like I walked in on something. I was like, oh no, something happened.
Yeah,
this is terrible news.
But yeah, hopefully they can get it addressed. Again, I don't want to put the entire blame on it, but it's hard to tell because it's one of the things where, like, there's video evidence of it definitely happening to some people. Like, we don't have legendary gear. It could be just our shitty gear. But again, I can't tell because there's this thing out there that I know is possibly happening, and I don't know if it's happening to me.
But not only that, when we were playing yesterday,
we had no issues.
It was like we were playing. It was almost breezy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
We went from CT6. We've been still working on our expedition tiers. We went from CT6 to 8. I could not, for the life of me, do CT6 on my own solo. That's why I kept racking my brain on. Is the damage mitigation issue happening to me? I did exactly what they told me. I took off all the gear, reloaded the game, put the gear back on, went back into it, and I'm fighting captains, 2 or 3 captains that are at a higher level than me, killing them instantly with my volcano ability, and then a rifleman in the back or to the left instantly fucking kills me, or it seems like he just downs me with almost no issue, and I'm like, how is it that I'm able to fight these captains with their abilities and they're at a higher health pool, and I get down by a regular grunt?
And they're supposed to be the leader of the squad. They're supposed to be the boss. Of that.
Now, if I die to the captains because he froze me in the second captain, like, did a firestorm on me, I understand that. I got caught in their trap. That I understand. Yeah. But the problem is that I'm dying to even the most mundane enemies. Yeah. Which makes me think that something's wrong with the game.
Something's wrong with the game, or that enemy just has a crazy level. There's a I did notice that once your screen starts, because I work off of a different metric. I'm not doing the math of the whatever. I'm just going like, wow, my screen's turning red really fast. It's turning red like way too fucking quick. But
I wish my screen turned red. It's just suddenly died, lost the run.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's footage of it on the stream. If you look at our Twitch stream, you can see me playing and judge for yourself. Am I just playing badly? I try changing up my playstyle. I try to play more aggressive, more conservative. I change more survivability mods. I give myself more mods to survive.
You did a defense build?
I did a defense build, did an attack build. Yeah. No matter what I did, I would just keep getting owned on CT6. And then as soon as you dropped on, we played co-op, boom, 6, 7, 8
Back to normal, yeah. So if you guys have any tips on that, let us know, please, because comment below or whatever you say.
Well, that's pretty much all the news that we have for today. Let's go ahead and start talking about our experiences with Outriders. Last time we had left off, we talked about the ending of the game, how we felt about it in our first introduction to expeditions. Now that we've had, I think, about 2 weeks now playing Outriders and mostly just hitting the expeditions, trying to get to that, the Expedition 15 level, how do you feel now that we've had more time with expeditions?
The expeditions can be challenging if you're playing by yourself.
Right.
They can be challenging. That might be a problem. But if I'm being honest, I spend a lot of my time exploiting little legendary weapon and armor things throughout the game where I'm like...
If you're not aware, there is an exploit where you can do where if you redo the hunts or the wanted quests, you can reset that quest line, do everything on World Tier 1 until you get your last quest that you got to do on that line. If you put that to your max World Tier, you can get a legendary item at that level.
And we'd recommend also skipping the first... so you set your World Tier back down to 1.
And start backwards. Do the hunts and the wanted quests from the Paxian homes
from the end of the
all
map.
The way to First City.
Yeah, because that way when you jack up your World Tier, and you're playing the first mission, so you're not getting
like a crazy boss or crazy amount of enemies.
You're just going through it.
But either way, like I was talking to you last night about it, like I like expeditions. I think expeditions are really fun.
They're fun.
When you're in co-op. When you're solo, it's a completely different game. It almost feels really unbalanced and unfair.
Yeah.
Because half the time, I feel like I would do 3 or 4 tries on... Well, 3 tries on the same expedition. Every run takes about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I died on my third one. So I wasted half an hour of my life doing an expedition by myself, only for that last boss or that last room to kill me.
Yeah.
And I have nothing to show for it. And I'm like, isn't expedition supposed to be the end game? Isn't it supposed to be rewarding? Isn't this the way you're supposed to be getting?
You get bullshit blue gear and purple gear here and there.
Where are the legendaries? I mean, I understand we have to get to a higher level to get to legendaries, but I'm not getting anything even useful from the epic, from the purple gear. Yeah. Like, I'm still using the same build that I had at the end of the storyline into CTA. Like, I haven't found anything better. The mods are still the same. I haven't gotten any gear that makes it worth my while, and yet we're exploiting the game to try to get better legendaries because guess what? It's there and it's hard to ignore. So we can play the higher CTs.
The challenge tiers. Yeah, it's takes a little bit of a... It's a little bit more kind of like... we're kind of jumping through loops to be able to take on the world tiers and stuff. Because I got killed by a regular ass Perforo, like a little baby one.
Yeah.
I was the last guy. I beat the boss. The 2 bosses with the the 2 vertebrae that come out of their heads, the big ass monsters. What are they called?
Crawlers?
Crawlers, you're probably right.
Yeah.
No, the crawlers are the ones with the big... Yeah. They have like just big, long... It looks like they have 2 braids.
Right.
But they're made of vertebrae. And I killed both of them, and I was ready to go. I turn around. There's a Perforo. My life is full. I get hit. I die. Right. Mm-hmm. Then I go back, and for some reason, it was like it was more difficult. Mm-hmm. Then I go, and then I die in the middle. This time I died in the second room. You know how there's 3 rooms and the one with all the Perforos? And the next time I died in the first room. Mm-hmm. So I was like, is this like a slot machine setup shit that they have that you got to try it over and over and over? And
see if you test your luck.
Yeah, on your 42nd try, that's when the house decides to pay out and shit like that.
Right.
So, or like what's going on here, you know? But again, like I said, I hate myself, so I thought it was me just sucking balls. But, who knows?
I don't think it's us. Because we've been there since day one, playing the game. We're perfecting our builds, looking at the mods, everything that we're equipping to make sure that we can output as much damage. I even remember when we first were doing the CT, and you were getting maybe like 1 million or 2, and then you really took a good look at your building. You increased it by 3 or 4 million on the second run.
Yesterday I got like I was like maybe about 1.5 million behind you. I was like, you were like at 8.7 and I was at 7.9 or 7.8. That's what I was at. So I was like, it was about almost 1 million behind, and I was like, oh shit! Like I would have never thought that I was gonna get even close to you and what Che were doing.
And I've seen videos where people are at legendary gear, legendary armor sets, max CT-15 doing like 300 million damage. Like straight up like that level of damage, right? But the thing is, like, they have those pieces and equipment, and I don't feel like the game is rewarding us in any way for this effort. Like, it feels bad to play solo because, again, when you play a co-op, it's fun, it's great. You don't lose the mission if someone gets down. You still have an opportunity to come back. You even get a free heal to get yourself back up instead of your friend getting you back up.
Which seems a little counterintuitive. You would need, like, if I have the option of you, like, if I get downed and I have the option of getting picked up by you or another partner or something like that, that's like a free man. You know, it's a one up right there essentially, right?
Yeah.
If I'm by myself, the revive should exist when you're by yourself. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they should give you one revive when you're by yourself.
That's when you need it the most.
That's when you need it. That's when it's most applicable. You know, because you don't have a homie running around that can come and revive you.
Yeah, you should at least get one freebie.
Yeah.
And again, I feel like I've just been having such a vastly different experience between Expedition Solo and Expedition Co-op, or at the point I'm like, why am I even playing solo? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so, but this is the problem. Why am I even playing solo if I should just play co-op, right? With you. So then I'm not gonna play the game then because there's nothing else to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I want to play solo when we can't play together because I want to get better gear, get level up, and be able to with you.
Like if you have a game, you want to play it when you feel like playing it.
Exactly. Yeah. And I feel like the solo experience is just so hard and so punishing that I think it just needs a rebalance, or they need to take a look at that. I understand the game was made for co-op, but I think you still need that solo experience because, again, People Can Fly keep saying that this is a full package game, that they're not going the games of the service route, but guess what? They're still borrowing a lot of elements from those other games. They're borrowing elements from Destiny, The Division, Anthem, things like that, right? Mm-hmm. So you have to adjust for that because not everyone can play these groups. Like, if you're not raiding in Destiny with a group of 6, guess what? You're going to be running dungeons. You're going to be running story missions. You're going to be doing things by yourself that are challenging. And again, like you mentioned, I've done hard shit in all these games. I'm not a person who strays away from doing something challenging if it's fair. You know what I'm saying? But the fact is that when you're playing solo, it just doesn't feel fair. And I don't know. Again, is it me? Is it the game?
It's probably like it's what Homeboy said is about the whack-a-mole type of thing. You know, where it's like it's probably just something that was fixed that threw off something else, and then you have to just go. They have to go back and patch that now. And
we're not alone in that sentiment either. We've seen lots of big YouTubers who have made a living now, making builds and stuff, having the same issue where they're just suddenly getting down.
If there's memes about it, you're not alone.
Right, exactly. And the whole subreddit is just up in flames and just about of whether if it's really you that's messing up or if it's the game that's messing up. Because again, it almost but there shouldn't be this conversation. Why is that conversation even there? That means that something is wrong or something's happening with the game where everyone's even fighting about what's happening.
Oh man, that's funny, dude. That's crazy.
I remember in Marvel's Avengers. Did you remember when your teammates wouldn't pick you up if you were playing by yourself?
No.
You would just die off. Like, you'll have those 20 seconds and slowly die and lose the mission.
Oh, you just have to watch your guy die.
Yeah, exactly.
I do remember that.
Now they pick you up, remember? Like, if you have Hulk,
the AI.
The AI will pick you up now. Yeah. But we don't have that. We don't, again, like, this isn't Marvel's Avengers, but we don't have an AI. If you're playing solo, you have to either pick yourself up, but you can't because you don't get a free revive or anything.
I'm not going to lie, man. I got to be honest. Or I'm not going to omit this. I've been feeling a little nostalgic for Avengers. I miss the sadism. I miss the punishment. I miss the lack of... I miss the insults. Well, they got the MCU skins coming in, too. So I was like, the nerd in me. I was like, I got to fire it up again. But
I did fire it up, and then I was like, wait, what am I doing?
Yeah.
What am I doing this for?
Yeah.
Is there gear to chase? No?
No.
Okay, then I'm going to go back to Outriders. And then I went back to Outriders, and I'm getting my shit kicked in. I'm like, man, I'm not in a good place right now.
I'm in a dark place in my gaming life.
But yeah, either way, that's what's been happening. Overall, I still like the expeditions.
Yeah.
I kind of find it's a little bullshit, the timers on how to get gold and silver. I know we can perfect it and get better and faster at it, but with everything that's going on right now, it's just hard to tell to see what's working, what's not working.
Would it be a leading question if I asked you? Because this is when I watch it, it's like, would it be a leading question if? Well, what do you think of this? What if they based the gold and silver tier, or bronze or whatever the fuck it is during the expeditions? What if they based that on damage inflicted?
Right.
You get
the
what
performance.
I'm saying? Like your performance.
Rather than time based.
Yeah. Because I mean, ultimately, there's a finite amount of damage, right?
Right.
That's hard. How would you do it then? What would be your alternative to the world tiers?
Make it harder to get to like, let's say if you want to beat that expedition at gold tier, set it to gold tier, it'll have more enemies, harder enemies.
I see. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Create, like, know that you're going into a silver tier, know that you're going into a bronze tier.
But this is the main problem that we go back to, is that when you're doing these expeditions, even if you get silver tier, which is fine, right? You're not, well, at least I feel like I'm not getting the gear to justify the time I'm investing to get to that gold tier or to get to the next CT. Like, I haven't picked up anything, and I have everything maxed to the level that I can. Because again, you can only level up your equipment until up to the maximum CT that you're at, right? My entire equipment is at the maximum that they can be for CT8 or CT6 when I was playing by myself, and that was not helping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And so, there's as many CTs as there are world tiers?
Yes, there's 15.
Okay.
And again, I think your item level is 50. So if you're CT 15, challenge tier 15,
and world tier 15.
World tier 15, your items can go up to level 50, and that's the max. But again, I keep running into all these expeditions, and I don't feel like I'm getting rewarded, or at least getting the time I'm investing into it. Yeah. And I don't want to keep resorting to the hunt and the wanted exploit to get the gear, because it's not how...
That's not how the game was intended to be played.
Exactly. And again, like, when we're playing together, it's fine. It's great. Yeah. I don't have any issues with the game when we're playing co-op. But again, you have a busy life, I have a busy life, and I'm pretty sure other people do, that where they can't play with their friends all the time.
Yeah.
What are you going to do in the meantime if you can't do these
scared me. It sounded like you were going to break up with me. You have a busy life. It's not me, it's you. I mean, whatever.
But again, I want to be able to log in and play by myself, and I'm just not having a good experience, and I don't feel like the game is rewarding you for that time that you're investing.
I don't think that this is a permanent situation. If it is, it doesn't. It's not a sound decision for a game developer to make. And if it is your experience now, like, I'm almost positive it's temporary. They're not gonna, because a lot of people are experiencing what you're experiencing, and they're being vocal about it, And it's, again, like we've said in previous past episodes, it's like there is a sense that they are listening to the community. There is a sense. So it's just we're a month, about 5 weeks away, or 5 weeks past the original launch day. 5 weeks is not that much time to fix a game.
Do you remember how bad Marvel was for like those first 2 months?
Do you remember how bad Outriders was?
Right.
The first day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like considering how far they've come in the last 5 weeks, it is. I'm sure they're working. I'm sure they're doing their thing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't change the fact that like, hey, the games are supposed to be fun. And
I think it just needs a rebalancing, at least for some certain parts of the game.
It might just be the Pyromancer too, even though this guy wrote about a trickster. But you were telling me that the Pyromancer had a lot of like glass cannon.
Well, because I've been trying to look at social media, look at other YouTubers, other Twitch players, and a lot of them have been having issues with certain classes. Now, again, I play Pyro, and I've been seeing a lot of hate that Pyro just gets instantly owned, even though they do, again, they're glass cannons. But the problem is, even if I put points into survivability, make myself more tougher, get more armor, things like that, I'm still dying the same amount. It almost doesn't change.
Do you have that mod? I think it's a level 2 armor mod. Might be level 3, but it might be a level 3 armor mod. But it's you have like it adds like 45,000 armor to you. I'm not.
Well, the one I have right now is called Aegis. Fire Aegis or Aegis Fire, where if I'm burning enemies, I get 10,000 armor for 10 seconds, and it stacks 3 times, so I can get up to 30,000.
When we're off air, I'm gonna fire up my Xbox and I'm gonna run through, because I want to see which mod I have, so I can show it to you, because it's really helpful. Right. I was getting fucked up. Do you remember when I was getting downed?
Yeah.
Every 5 fucking minutes. It was like a certain point. I was doing fine. At a certain point, I was getting like pretty much the way Kev has been getting killed lately. But I was like actually earning it, and I was actually just getting fucked up. But it was because my armor was just way too low, and I had to look at my build. Yeah. And I had to like readjust it. But I'm wondering if there's. So my question is this: I'm wondering if that mod is a class specific mod, or if it's a mod that we can both have. So I want to see it, get the name of it exactly, because I don't remember it off the top of my head.
Some mods are class specific, but not all of them. I think it's a small select. I think a lot of the tier 1 mods are just all class specific ones.
Okay, I got to take a look, because it there's got to be something like that to balance your guy out too. You know what I mean? Like if you're not dealing with that damage mitigation issue, you know what I mean? But if you do that and you still have it, then it's definitely the damage mitigation issue.
Someone on Reddit had pointed out a very good point that I had resonated with a lot with is this game is not a games as a service, right? They're not trying to sell you something else. This is a full game, right? Mm-hmm. Why are they so stingy with the drops? Why are they so stingy with getting better gear and armor? When, like, let's say, for example, this game is styled over Borderlands and Diablo, right? Mm-hmm. Those games are shower you with a lot of legendaries, and then so then at that point, you're just you're trying to get the best legendaries, and then push all the crappy legendaries to the side. Yeah. But every time you go for a harder mayhem level, that's what it is in Borderlands. There's mayhem levels. You're gonna get powerful weapons for that mayhem level to let you go to the next mayhem level, right?
Yeah, they are pretty stingy.
Right, and I feel like in this game, again, what that person pointed out on the subreddit was that why they're being so stingy with the drops. Like, why can't we feel like we're progressing and be able to get more items and armor and better pieces of gear that helps our builds? Like, why am I getting gear that gives me shields mods, right? Mm-hmm. When I am not a trickster, I don't have shields.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but you can share your mods amongst your.
No, you can't.
You can't.
You can't share your mods
amongst. Bullshit.
Right.
I thought if it was in your cache, in your weapon.
Yeah. Okay, you're right about that.
Yeah.
But but when it comes to armor, you cannot share among other classes.
Okay, so armor mods are class specific. Weapon mods are not.
I think so. I'm not sure, but because I've been looking at, because someone was making that other point too. Why can't you share your mods across all the characters? If you unlocked it, your other characters should have access to it as well.
If they are applicable to each class.
Exactly, correct.
Like, I would understand if, like, okay, this mod doesn't work with this character. And
because it's class specific.
Sure, yeah. But if they're like most like generic mods, like if there's an armor mod or whatever, like
they don't cross. Everything gets separated. So whatever mods you have on one character are not on the other character. You have to earn those mods again on that second character.
Okay.
So saying like it.
So you don't have the mod that doubles your melee damage?
I have that one.
You have that one?
You know what I'm saying? But like I don't need it. Like, I'm not a melee build.
That mod.
Yeah, but it makes sense because you're a trickster, and you can do a melee build.
Like when I'm under 30% health, so I have that 100% increase of I think it's called Brawl, where it's like under 30%. I'm sorry, where it just doubles your melee damage by 100%.
Yeah. If my
health goes underneath 30%, it multiplies my melee damage by 300%. So I'm already doubled. Mm-hmm. So then it essentially gives me 600% melee damage if I'm under 30%.
Right.
Yeah, it's a really cool mod. Like, there's two separate ones that
I use. And that's the thing. I've been trying to experiment with mods because there's lots of YouTubers out there, which I'm glad that they're making a lot of builds. Yeah. What's the best that they are doing. Yeah. But I like experimenting on my own.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
When we get a little further along in it, I'm sure we'll have we'll talk.
I've already been looking at some of the advice that they've been giving. Like one good way right now is, at least what they're saying is, if you're gonna go gunfire, like on your armor pieces, go full gunfire. Don't go half or half. Like if you're going full anomaly, go full anomaly. Like if you're gonna
lean in.
Yeah, if you're gonna lean on your anomaly skills, lean on that. Make a build for that.
Don't go for balance. Go for
exactly. Yeah. And from what I keep hearing, also reading, is that weapon scales better. So if you're going for a gun build, it actually might help you more in the long run because weapon damage scales better than anomaly damage. But again, it's all experimental. Not experimental, but that's what's kind of what the community has been seeing and doing, at least for a lot of the people out there who are making content for it.
Yeah, that's kind of the approach, and it kind of happened naturally for me, where it's like I was going full anomaly build, and it wasn't quite working. Like, I kept getting killed and kept getting, and especially at higher levels, boss battles, like fucking Altered Bailey. God damn it.
Altered Bailey.
Altered Bailey. No, like she fucked me up a couple times, but and then the last boss too, that fucked up looking Pax, I think.
Oh yeah.
Fucked up looking creature.
Uruk?
No, it wasn't Uruk.
Yagak.
Yagak. Yeah, that he was fucking me up too.
Yeah.
But when I switched my build towards being all damage and attack, and then when I was focusing on my anomaly build, but I was just getting fucked up.
Right.
And then I started using my anomaly powers as supplements to my gunplay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
versus using my guns as like, because
right.
that's how it's meant to be, or else it wouldn't have a cooldown. The guns don't have a cooldown. You know
right.
what I mean?
And I get it what they mean. Like if you're gonna go full guns, lean heavily on it. I understand that if you're going full anomaly, go full anomaly. But guess what? I can't fucking find pieces of gear that lets me fucking do that. I've had the same pants that gives me long range damage. I'm not a sniper. I'm a technomancer. I mean, I'm a pyromancer.
I'm looking for my eject button over here. Kevin's getting riled up. No, just kidding.
But again, I would love to do that.
Yeah.
I'm still rocking the same pants that I've had since the end of the game.
Yeah.
That give me long range damage. Guess what? I haven't found anything better than that. Wow. That's why I'm still rocking it. Because the mods on it are good, but the attributes don't help me.
The attributes don't matter.
And
so you have to like dismantle it, take the mods that you like from it, and then put it on something that has attributes that work for you.
But the thing is, like, the other problem is when you're finding pieces of gear, you need to have one good mod on that piece of gear because you can only rewrite one mod.
Because you can only rewrite one, yeah.
So, and how many times do I keep getting gear that gives me melee damage that I don't fucking need? I wish there was a way where... In Destiny, there's this thing. I forgot what it's called. I don't think there's a specific name to it. But in Destiny, you have a way to adjust some of the drops that the weapon may give you, or some of the perks that come with it. So imagine if you could manipulate a little bit what type of mods may come in the piece of gear that you're going to receive.
Based on how you want to play.
Exactly. Like, okay, if you choose this, let's say if you're going to choose Group A, right? Mm-hmm. You're not going to get these mods, but you have the possibility of getting these mods. Yeah, Group B, like the same thing, different sets of mods that you may get, but it's going to exclude these ones. So if there's a specific mod you do not want, go for this group. You know what I'm saying? Right. Destiny kind of did the same thing where you can earn specific guns, and it will tell you, these are the mods that the gun may come with, but these are the ones that are for sure going to be excluded from that pool.
Well, what if they did something where, it cost... either leather or iron to mod a gun, right? To mod a gun and armor, right? Leather for armor, iron for guns. What if drop pod resources can be used to overwrite the second mod that you don't like?
Right.
Something like where it's like a lot simpler. It's a transactional thing, but it's a lot simpler than having this entire, this entire mechanic of excluding mods and stuff like that, because that also I could see where that can kind of hinder your exploration on your builds, on exploring your builds and how you create them. So it seems like if they added a thing where you can adjust that initial mod that you can't change, the one that's stuck, but with a different, maybe harder to get resource, that'd be a quick fix on that. So you can get rid of the ones that you're not fucking using and that don't matter, but you can keep the attributes, or vice versa. You know what I mean? Maybe you can adjust your attributes, or I don't know. There's got to be something.
I understand why they don't do that, because otherwise, then why get more gear drops? Because you're looking for that perfect piece that has one mod that you like, and then you override the other mod that you don't like.
It kills the chase.
Yeah. But again, same issue. I just been getting just crap on top of crap on top of crap. Mm-hmm. And again, I'll go freaking do the hunts and exploit the hell out of that. Yeah. But I feel like that's not what I'm here for. That's not what the game is. I don't enjoy that. I don't enjoy doing 9 hunts in a row to kill them all super easily and then do one good hunt at the end. Yeah. Why can't it just be a good enjoyable experience throughout the entire game? Right. Whether if you're doing expeditions or even high level hunts or wanted quests, So
you think there's a consistency issue?
Exactly. Or at least
I would agree.
At least the gear chase hasn't been fair, But either way, let us know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for joining us for episode 5, and we hope to hear from you soon. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and follow us on Instagram, ShootNLoot Outriders, Twitter @ShootNLootOP, and TikTok, ShootNLoot Outriders, to be notified of new episodes. Now go fuck shit up, Outriders, if you can.
Bye, everybody. Or
Bye.
get fucked up.
Get fucked up.